All right, welcome. This is Cop Talk Live, Changing Cop Culture. I'm Dominic Izzo. I am a former cop out here in the northwest suburbs of Chicago, and it's Tuesday. We're doing these live every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern. That's 8 Central, 7 Mountain, and 6 Pacific. And the purpose of this channel, whatever medium you're watching it on, is it is educating police officers as far as oh, hell. If you ever listen to my other stuff, you watch my short form content, you look at this and you think off the bat that I hate police officers. And I get it. It's how I come across. It's my demeanor, if you will. A little bit spicy and fiery when it comes down to criticizing law enforcement, but that's because I am a huge proponent of law enforcement and I believe in negative reinforcement. I don't believe in the positive shit that's out there and the humanizing the badge movement. I just don't. I think this culture's gotten so soft that, especially as men, we've lost our way when it comes down to the negative reinforcement. For those who don't know what negative reinforcement was, it was bullying, right? You got bullied. I come from the 70s. I went through high school in the late 80s, early 90s, and you got bullied and you became something of it. It's pressure testing. You pressure the strongest steel is pressured and forged in the hottest of fires. And the damn diamonds are made from coal that's been pressurized like crazy. So, yeah, don't forget, we're now doing this Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9 p.m. Eastern, because a lot of you guys are like, man, we need more information. And, you know, I'm glad to give it to you. So if you watch my short form content on Spreely TV, I'd like to thank Spreely TV. This is a Spreely TV production, by the way. All things speak freely. Go to Spreely.com. I know that so many people out there, you're all like, man, social media, you can't say what you want anymore, and all this kind of garbage. You can at Spreely.com. They've got a social media platform. They've got shows on there like the Burn Pit Podcast, Report and Opine, The Dumb Show, Shannon Joy Show. You can watch me live every Monday through Friday at noon Central, 1 Eastern on the Rants of Izzo. We're a stream of consciousness show. We cover everything from porn to politics, evening rants, you name it. Spreely.com, home of Spreely TV. If you watch this as well, too, you can watch us on your Roku, your Fire Stick, your Apple TV. Just get the Spreely TV app and go from there. We have a chat. It's good to see you guys. Charles Bronson, how are you? Bev, Sarah Nichols. I am monitoring that, and I will do my best to wind up interacting with you guys as well. So let's jump right into it. Listen. There's a never-ending... People keep saying this, or they keep asking me, why do I highlight so many bad police interaction videos, right? And my question kind of in return is, why the fuck are there so many? It blows me away. It's 2024. We got 5 months left, 4.5 months left of the year in 2024. And we have a sickening, non-stop, it's a never ending of bad cops. And I can't comprehend it. Now, full disclosure, I went to the academy in 2001. I was class 1871 at the University of Illinois Champaign-Urbana Police Training Institute. And, you know, I like to think at 26 years old when I became a cop in March of 2001 that I had integrity. And, you know, I got my ass kicked in the real world, working retail jobs in the bar industry. And, you know, I wasn't fresh out of college going into law enforcement, acting like my shit didn't stink. I know what it was like to struggle to pay my bills. I know what it was like to work in service for the customer who was always right. And I had that mentality going into law enforcement. It doesn't mean that I didn't have my attitude during, right? And I know that I did in the first few years of my profession. And then it was towards the middle where I'm like, oh my God, this is a job like anything else. And I stopped idealizing it. I got real bitter. And then at the end, I was just completely outraged at the delusion we had in law enforcement and the shit behavior from command staff and the abuse of people just for stats and performance evaluations. For those who don't think that there's there's quotas in law enforcement, there sure shit is. I do short form content on both YouTube and on Spreely TV, and these are the opportunities where I get to kind of review the longer form and break them down with you. Part of me also as well too, when I do these long form videos, I don't get the background on them. And here's why. There's plenty of other channels out there that'll get you the totality of the circumstances, that'll break down the extent of everything. I want to take the lens of both a citizen, a civilian, and prior law enforcement, because you're going to get this in the same fashion the public does. I want to take a unique perspective in bridging how the public sees the same damn thing. The public doesn't care. The public is very ignorant when it comes to Officer Tater Hater. Officer Tater Hater over in the chat. This is my first Izzo live video. Before you ask, guess my scream name. Pokes fun at Officer Tatum. There's only one reason I don't like Officer Tatum. There's only one, and I'll explain this. The only reason I don't like Tatum is he took a video of mine and he put it on his Instagram stories, and he had said, I'm a racist and I'm the problem in law enforcement. I don't have any respect for him, because if you watch any of my other content, I'm sorry, I've proven that where my racial issues limit and lie. It's good to see Scott Abercrombie. I'm glad that you are doing regular live broadcasts Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9 p.m. Eastern. If you want to support what we're doing too, you can purchase a copy of my book, Before the Badge, Everything You Need to Know Before You Become a Cop. It's Before the Badge, Everything You Need to Know Before You Become a Cop. It's available at Barnes & Noble, Amazon, and wordsmatterpublishing.com. And yeah, we'll create a Officer Dominic Izzo on Venmo and PayPal for you guys to wind up contributing. Because, yeah, we do. We want to bring a lot to this channel, and we're going to need your sponsorship and support for it. So going back to my concept of people don't give a shit about the totality of the circumstances. The public, sad to say, you have two extremes of the public. The ones who are bootlickers, who the cops can do no wrong at any time whatsoever, and they don't care about things like due process, the constitutional rights, the totality of the circumstances. They just want the cops to be right no matter what. No matter what. And then you've got the side of the public that is, they don't give a shit about what the bad guy did, or what so-and-so could have walked into a place and shot up a nursery, daycare nursery, or an old folks home. They don't care. They don't care. It's like, and I'm in the middle. I'm in the middle where I've taken content like with George Floyd, where the world was divided. I condemned what Derek Chauvin did the day he did it. And a year later, when everybody flipped their script and they're like, oh, Derek Chauvin, he should be released because George Floyd died of a fentanyl overdose, and he held a gun to a pregnant woman's stomach, and he had a criminal history. I still believe in due process no matter what. No matter what, no matter who the person, no matter what they did. That when we lose that, we lose ourselves and our souls as a nation. We really do. So I don't give a shit about the person's past. Today's victim is tomorrow's offender, and vice versa. A lot of people don't realize as a cop, you're going to deal with Joe Shit the Rag Man, and he's going to punch his wife, and he's going to drop kick the dog, and he's going to set the kids on fire, and blah, 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 blah. And next week, guess what? Joe's going to be the victim of something. And it's your job, no matter what, to put your feelings aside, show up on scene, do your job as a professional, and help him. It serve him. That's the problem we have in law enforcement. Cops and the citizens who back the blue no matter what, they're the problem. So on this stuff too, and I talk about this quite often, I'm not into humanizing the badge. I'm into pressure testing. I'm into demanding that police officers who take the job, they step up to the plate and give more and more and more of their best selves when it comes down to serving the public. And they're scrutinized 100 times harder than any other human being on the planet, because you have the right and responsibility to take away somebody's freedom and or life on a daily basis if necessary. So I do believe in that. So when we look at these videos, I don't want to know everything. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I do. Like when it comes down to the George Floyd case, I've done a very long breakdown from the initiating of the traffic stop, or this. Well, it was a traffic stop because he was in his car. The initiation of where they made contact with the clerk, the faux $20 bill, all the way to him getting whisked off. There's a lot of times I want to know the ins and outs, but I think that when you do that, and you start to make excuses for law enforcement. And I think that there's a lot of, in the moment, use of force, which should be looked at, and that's what I do predominantly a lot on, and there should be no excuse of anything. All right, let's take a look at this as I'm choking my brains out. I'm supposed to, oh, there you go. I got a lodge in here. All right. This is from EF Combatives, 2-officer breakdown on the base, and we're going to play the first part here of what we see. And what you're looking at is 2 cops on top of a subject. Now, here's the deal. I don't care what this subject did. Use of force, and I've talked about this many times, use of force is in the moment. Use of force cannot be used. It can be based or inferred off of what happened the first time you dealt with somebody. If you deal with John Doe 5 times, and every single time John Doe has had a knife in his hands and he said, I'm going to stab you, you can deduce it's a possibility that John Doe may have a knife when you come in contact with him and he may stab you. What you can't do is walk right up and pump 16 rounds into John Doe and say, well, he had a knife the other 5 times, and then it turns out John Doe doesn't have a knife, right? I've said this often with use of force. The frustration for how it's done is, an analogy is, you get a call of somebody who is actively blowtorching a senior citizen's home, and he's cooking alive 30 people, 30 seniors that are in there, and people who are on 911, they can hear the screams. They're like, oh my God, we hear all these old folks screaming, and you go code, lights and sirens of this call, you show up, and when the second you show up, you get out of your door, you activate your body camera, you draw your pistol, you come right down the pipe, and you're right on target, and Joe Shit the Ragman drops the flamethrower, puts his hands right up in the air, even kicks it to the side, drops to his knees. You can, and those people are burning alive. You cannot use deadly force on Joe Shit the Ragman. Now you cover him, because if he goes for the flamethrower, he's already proved he's going to use it. Well, then, yeah, you light him up and make him look like an aerated front lawn. When it comes down to that, circumstances dictate tactics, use of force is in the moment. So this is why I really don't subscribe to the whole, it's very rarely, 9 out of 10 times, I will criticize some, well, we need to see what happened before this. No, you don't. No, you don't. Not with use of force. Use of force is in that moment. Charles Bronson got my book. Oh, Amazon. I appreciate that. That's fantastic. Kay Lane, hello. How are you? All right, let's watch this. And we're just watching this in real time.
I'm my mom, bitch. Bro, I'm about to dog you, bitch. Let him go.
Let go of me. Let go of me.
What do you mean?
Let go of me.
No. Drop that bitch. Fuck her. Fuck you talking about. Fuck her. Y'all doing them all. You ain't have a valid reason why you...
Yeah, and then EF Combatives goes over this. Come on, man. Women cops. And this guy's no better. The problem we have is you got a female is on the ground. Okay, let me get critical. She's fat. She is obese. She's overweight. He looks like a stiff breeze would blow him over. I do believe there are certain things you have to get back to. Right now, I'm 5'7". I'm not a tall man. I'm 230 pounds. I'm dense. I lift weights. I'm on TRT. I lift heavy weights. I power lift, deadlift, squat, bench press. I don't look for aesthetics. I don't care. I want it so that even in my 50s, 60s, if I put my hands on you, you're going to be, oh, this guy's going to put me through a wall. I want you to know that you're fucked if I ever wind up grabbing you. That being said, when I was a kid and I wanted to be a cop, they had a height requirement, minimum 5'8". Then they get rid of it. Now what they're doing, I really don't want to talk about the Secret Service debacle, what happened with President Trump the other day, with the Secret Service discussing about bringing 30% of women on. If we start here, women shouldn't be in law enforcement. This broad is utterly useless. What is she doing? What is she doing? I don't know how these people keep getting hired. And then if you look at him, what this also is, now I'm saying this is a black man. And what I'm saying is these are 2 cops who are afraid to do their job because social media, YouTube, everything else has made it popular to vilify cops because we only take I'm guilty of what we do. You only take the 30 seconds or 15 seconds and you put it out there and then you demonize and criminalize the cops, right? And I blame command staff, I blame villages, I blame mayors, I blame the legal system because we want that due process, but we don't want to release evidence as quickly as possible. This is two cops, two out-of-shape cops, two tactically shitty cops, two cops who can't fight, afraid to take a black man into custody. That's what this is. Kay Lane, women cops seem to always have an attitude like something to prove. I've never run into one with a lady cop that is nice. There are three, and I don't know if they're ever going to watch this. I don't know. Sandy Malador, Vanessa Witten. Why am I drawing a blank? I could see your face like crazy. Oh my God. I'm going to name names right now. Wait a second. Michelle Hernandez. Okay. Those are three off the top of my head. And I'm giving them public props. Sandy Malador, Vanessa Witten, and Michelle Hernandez are three of the best, not only female cops, but police officers I've ever fucking worked with. They had even temperament. All three of them could take care of themselves in a fight, and they treated people with massive fucking respect. So I have no idea if they watch my content. I don't talk to any of them anymore, but they were three of the best. The Round Lake area, Illinois, female police officers I ever met. There was a few others who we had one for my first apartment in Round Lake Beach. She was 500 pounds of mouth and just 100 pounds of body, and she used to brag about always sitting there and racking up the most resisting arrest charges. And we're like, dude, that's because you jaw jack people up. And then when they resist, all of a sudden, three of us got to fucking take care of your problem. I got in trouble one day where there was a disturbance at a gas station. I was dispatched to the call. This broad happened to get there first. I swear to God, by the time I got out of my car, I heard her motherfucking this subject. I fucking swear I heard it. Maybe my head created it up because I'd been on numerous calls with this bitch who just used to jack people up all the time. And it was myself and another guy. We're on top of this guy getting ready to handcuff him. We got his hands behind his back because he's fighting us. And all she has to do is go out, get the handcuffs, put him on. But what does she do? She blasts him with pepper spray. And there's this 4-year-old fucking daughter sitting in the minivan crying. And what does the bitch cop do? She pulls the guy up. Look what you made me do in front of your daughter. I was so pissed. So fucking pissed. I wrote a memo of the unprofessionalism, and now this is where I used to fuck up in law enforcement too. I apologized to the guy when I had to deliver him food later on that night. I apologized to him. Now, culturally or society-wise, he was a shitbag. He had a pretty lengthy criminal history. Whatever. I'd never dealt with him before, but for what happened on that scene, I didn't agree with it. Now, I didn't throw the department under the bus by saying, hey, what we did was wrong. But hey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry it escalated to what happened. I couldn't stand seeing a 4-year-old girl cry because daddy got the shit beat out of him by 3 fucking cops and pepper spray. Couldn't stand that. I write a memo to my department. Weeks later, I get called into it was Hare's office. And he went over the squad car footage of what I saw pulling up, and he goes, I can't hear a word what you're describing. And I'm like, I swear to God, dude, I heard this bitch's mouth before I got out of the car, but there was nothing. There's nothing on the audio of it. So she was so pissed off. And this is where I knew that female cops had an attitude problem, where we're in there. She goes, you don't know what it's like to have to prove yourself on the street on a daily basis. And I'm like, maybe that's your fucking problem. If you feel that you have to prove yourself on a daily basis, you shouldn't be doing this job. So yeah, I've only worked with 3 good female cops. I honestly think that it's time to eradicate females from law enforcement. They're a detriment and a hindrance. And I don't know how we keep hiring these people. And then in this case, again, this issue, what you're looking at is 2 subjects or 2 cops who are they're afraid to take a black man into custody. That's all this is. And they don't know how to do their job. And it's sad. Bev asked, do some American cops have a drinking problem? Do cops are alcoholics? I never drank. But Cops are the biggest abusers of DUIs out there. They drive drunk more often than any citizen on the fucking planet. So I don't know what she expects to do. And the problem, I love her face on this one. She's going right fucking back. And she's like, oh, get off me. The asinine argument is, well, no one wants to become a cop and the training and they're not funding. And I actually, man, I put this out. I got to find this post because I'll look at this because this did a number on the debate topics before Trump got shot. This was something I put up. I took a lot of heat for. How to change law enforcement. Minimum age should be 30. Preference points for sales, retail, and restaurant employees experience. Eliminate qualified immunity. Change from certification to biannual licensing. Require cops to carry individual insurance. Perfect score required on Fourth Amendment search and seizure testing. Biannual fitness, defensive tactics, and firearms at 100% proficiency. And residential requirement to live in the community they serve. Where I actually took some shit was where people were like, dude, you're going to have to pay more if you demand all that. And it blows me away. It blows me away. I can't think of an analogy that makes any sense to that other than, so if I go to school to be a brain surgeon and I'm whatever, I swear my oath, do no harm, whatever the Hippocratic oath is, go to a surgeon and I become a surgeon. I am a surgeon, right? And then somebody's like, hey, you have somebody having aneurysm that require a blood clot that requires surgery. And the family's like, well, we want you to do your absolute best. And we want you to have our husband or father or whatever it is live. And here's what their expectations are. Their expectations are that I study and I stay up to date on modern medicine. I get proper sleep so that I'm coherent. I don't drink. I don't do drugs, excuse me. And that I do my absolute best during the surgery. And I go, well, shit, you're going to have to pay me more. What? Well, that's what people were saying when it comes to my list of demands. So you're saying that you only should pay cops, you should pay cops $50,000 a year more if they score 100% on a Fourth Amendment search and seizure certification or license that has to be renewed every 2 years. But what if not? It's okay. If we're going to pay somebody $80,000 versus $120,000, with the $80,000, you only need to know 70% of it. How fucked up does that sound? It blows me away. Absolutely blows me away. Randy, man, you should do a show on Key West. What a shit show. I've never heard of it. But if anybody wants to send content for me to review, all one word, Officer Dominic with a K, Dominick, Izzo, Izzo, Officer Dominic Izzo at gmail.com. The residency requirements, too, people all got bent out of shape about. They were like, well, you're saying the cops should live in like Compton and, south side of Chicago? I do. At the very least, if we can't stick police officers in corrections for a minimum of 2 years, because there's not enough positions, before they go out into the streets, so they learn how to use their mouths when they're outnumbered 20, 30, 100 to 1. You better learn to use your mouth. Correction officers, I think, should be the standard practice before ever being released out on the road. If you can't do that, and that's why I was very critical on retail, the restaurant and sales industry, because customer service is your priority. But if you can't do that, I think that it should be imperative that you stick cops to live in the neighborhoods they work in. Well, it's going to be unsafe for cops. We'll get your single men in there, have them. They're going to be targets. You want your police, instead of going home to their white neighborhoods after they've policed all the animals and the savages in the black neighborhoods, because we know how they think about them after seeing them on a daily basis. You want them part of the community for one reason. They give a shit. We know culture's not going to change. It's impossible to ask the citizen and the community to step up to the plate and say, hey, would you meet us halfway? Because they already mistrust cops. They hate cops. They can't stand how it's done with law enforcement. They feel targeted. So maybe if we start sticking our blue line in the community to kind of mirror Sir Robert Peel's 9 principles of policing, the police of the public and the public of the police, maybe, just maybe, shit would get done the right way. That's that. But over on here, this was a great comment. NK Bush 132, whatever it is. So many idiots upset about wanting to end qualified immunity. If that concerns you, you need to find a new job. 100%, dude. 100%. I'm okay with all that. Pay needs to reflect it. $150,000 minimum starting if I'm buying insurance like doctors. I agree with that too. I just don't think that it makes any sense whatsoever. And this was my statement, hilarious how when you increase the standards, people demand more pay. See, the public is quite fine with shitty, fat, uneducated, substandard cops being on their streets since they aren't paid enough. It blows me away. The hypocrisy when so many cops out there say it's a calling. It's a calling. I felt called to serve the blue. You did? Well, then why is all your shit just, your social media TikTok dancing shit, or in your bikini, selling your supplements on your side hustle, wearing your blue line Punisher pin, and then when it comes down to actually knowing what your job is, you don't fucking know it. I don't know. I could be wrong on that one. Charles Bronson doesn't make any sense. You're 100% right. I agree with you on that one. And Sarah Nichols, women shouldn't be cops, period. Yeah, I agree with that as well, too. Scott Abercrombie, women cops have daddy issues. Did you have a camera in the bedroom with me and my ex who was a cop? That's pretty interesting. All right, let's continue this one. Holy shit. Now, I do a lot of content that's ripping cops apart, bad cops, all that shit is what it is. This is a good one. No, let me take this back. This is a phenomenal one. I believe this is Sandusky, Ohio. First Amendment auditors are a big thing. I think they're essential. I think they're crucial. I'm very public about Chili DeCastro. I think he's a fucking clown. I have no respect for him whatsoever. His potential is huge, but his delivery, it's for self-serving financial purposes. He is not out to change the system in any way, shape, or form. He's a fraud and a fucking liar as far as I'm concerned. And then when it comes down to who's the other one? Oh, shit. I can't remember the other one. I know we follow each other on Instagram. There are several good auditors out there. This interaction between this cop and the First Amendment auditor should be standard. Now, full disclosure, cops are owed zero respect. Nothing. None whatsoever. They're not entitled to any respect whatsoever. The First Amendment auditor could be as rude as they want to. They could be as rude, as vulgar, as long as there's no people around. So somebody could be disorderly conduct, like if a mother with her children are in the area and the First Amendment auditor starts dropping all types of F-bombs and what, you could stretch it for disorderly conduct if she wants to be a complaint for alarmed and disturbed. But that's that. So the onus is not on the First Amendment auditor. It's on the cop. I just think that if we're going to solve the problems between the police and the public, I think this stems shit in a far better direction to do so. And both of these subjects in this video need to be highlighted as the standard for First Amendment auditor interactions. Well, let's take a look at this together.
Oh,
all right.
Good. Officer Hernandez from the Sandusky Police Department.
Yes, sir.
The one and only reason I'm out here right now is the lady in there called the business, or from the business called us,
okay,
and just had some concerns about people videotaping out here.
Sure.
Obviously, you guys are out here on a public sidewalk. You're not doing anything illegal. You're not engaged in disorderly conduct. You're not being a voyeur or anything else like that. You're simply two gentlemen walking around just videotaping the city.
Yes, sir.
And we're a tourist town. That happens everywhere here in this city.
Of course.
Just some folks might either feel some sort of way about it because they're...
This is by far the... Oh, that was me. Damn it. I didn't want that. I got to get the whole one. But if you listen to the tone of what he did, I have to wonder if I saved this. This was probably Sandusky, Ohio, and I tagged them. Yeah, here we go. I'll play the whole.
How we doing, officer?
Good about yourselves.
All right.
Good. Officer Hernandez from the Sandusky Police Department.
Yes, sir.
The one and only reason I'm out here right now is the lady in there called the business, or from the business called us,
Okay.
and just had some concerns about people videotaping out here.
Sure.
Obviously, you guys are out here on a public sidewalk. You're not doing anything illegal. You're not engaged in disorderly conduct. You're not being a voyeur or anything else like that. You're simply two gentlemen walking around just videotaping the city.
Yes, sir.
And we're a tourist town. That happens everywhere here in this city.
Of course.
Just some folks might have either feel some sort of way about it because they're being videotaped or whatever the case may be. We don't have any control over that. You guys aren't doing anything illegal by being out here in the city, just taking pictures or videographing or whatever the case may be.
Well, I appreciate that.
So, again, if you don't mind me asking, you don't have to answer. Are you guys with a multimedia company, or are you guys just private citizens doing your own thing?
No, I'll answer you. My name's Jason. This is my son, Ben.
How you doing, Ben?
And
I'm Ernie.
Ernie, pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, pleasure
Officer
to meet you as
Hernandez,
well.
or you
Yeah.
prefer Ernie?
I fucking love that. I used it every now and then too. I used to use Dominic. You can call me Dominic, because I did not see any issue with that. It's a relationship between the police and the public. What won me over, I'm not going to lie, is this cop is confident enough that he doesn't have to sit there tout his title for any damned respect. Again, I'm going to keep playing this, but this is just it's flawless. This is a perfect interaction.
A lot of people just call me Ernie.
You got it.
That sometimes titles are only good for books and movies.
Well, good small town vibes, right?
And that too.
There you go.
I'm gonna make the safe assumption that in your guys' travels, this probably is the last or first time a cop's had to talk to you about this.
Oh,
or
not
least-
at all. You carry these cameras around. It's
Yeah.
like a cop magnet.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well,
for
this
sure.
is too. I love this. I mean, we live in an era right now where there's video cameras everywhere, and the thing is too is that I think there might be a little bit disconnect whenever it comes to knowing what you can and you can't do.
Sure.
And what people that don't want to be videotaped, or what maybe the common layman might not know.
Okay.
Because what you guys are doing.
How we doing, officer?
Good about your.
I absolutely believe that this cop should be teaching classes on First Amendment auditors, and to be honest, this is de-escalation. This is where you get like fucking Chili DeCastro. De-escalate. Shut up, you twat. This is perfect. You can't control what the subject's going to do. You can't, as the cop on the scene, if the subject starts like, hey, fuck you, pig, you can't control that. All you could do is remain as professional as possible. Sandusky, Ohio, I believe this is where this is, because I don't know of another Sandusky. This police officer this is a guy who I would want to go on calls on, because he's got level head. And that it's a job, and he's professional about this. So in the First Amendment auditor, I mean, holy shit, dude. This is where you have credibility. And unlike somebody like Chili DeCastro, who I would, if this auditor, I don't know who this is, Jason, whatever it is, but if he's got a channel and this is how he acts, this is where agencies should contact somebody like this and say, hey, listen, we're going to go over social media policy. We're going to go over First Amendment interaction policies. Would you like to come, and we would like your feedback if you're comfortable, and talk about what you think is essential. That's where it is. And that's where Chili blew it, to where he had so much ability for agencies to wind up both municipal, county, state, and federal, for him to go teach, but he just blew that one. Over in the chat, let me look and see if there's anything new here. Smashface 77. Oh, here we go. Officer Izzo is brave, real, and necessary. Keep up the informative work on this topic. I hope you continued success and prosperity. Hey, make sure you support our work by buying my book, Before the Badge, Everything You Need to Know Before You Become a Cop. It's available on Amazon. Go ahead and click there. Or you could donate to PayPal and Venmo to Officer Dominic Izzo. Jesse Flowers, have you ever ignored contradiction depends on their age? Okay. Rex Masters, if he's not doing anything illegal, then why is the officer even talking to him? Egos corrupt law enforcement. All right, Rex, pull your tampon out of your anus, and it's still the job, right? If the cop's job, and the citizen could have said, hey, fuck off. And I have a feeling that this cop would have said, okay, you're right. This cop 100%, just because the guy's not doing anything doesn't mean he can't go up and talk to him. So if you're good with citizens walking around and filming shit like crazy, beginning in cops' faces, then you have to be comfortable with that. Yeah, this officer Ernie, who is a part of this community, has every motherfucking right to walk up to somebody and say, "Hey, how are you? How's your day?" And if that person doesn't want to interact, then the connection is done. This person clearly wanted to act. Not to mention the fact that it shows the caller that the cop could have brushed her off and said, "There's nothing I can do, miss. Nothing I can do at all." And then all of a sudden she's going to call a complaint because she's going to be a Karen. This cop 100% was in the right to do whatever he chose to do, and he chose to do the right thing. No. WCF Invader. We're live now Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern, so an hour earlier and 2 days a week now. Bev, show is on iTunes. Show is on Tuesday and Thursday. Oh gosh, I can't even read. So far away. Officer Tater Hater, do you sell coffee? I became a big coffee snob after I got sober. Yes, we have coffee in the works. It will be available through piratecigar.com and Darkwater Alley. If you do want to smoke the Izzo Maduro cigar, you can go to piratecigar.com. It's piratecigar.com. piratecigar.com and get the Izzo Maduro and use the promo code Izzo for a discount on your cigar. Let's see what else we had to look at. Some other short stuff that I had done. Yeah, this one I did. This was another one that I covered in a short form, and I'm blown away. Let me just say I'm just blown away on this one. We'll watch this one together.
For what? You're being detained right now, sir. Okay? Just understand that. You have an ID on you. I already told you. They came and I'm not going to talk to my supervisor. Right now you have no rights. Okay? I got called out here because you're...
Do we need to play the rest of this video? The problem I have, it's not the squeak of this man's voice. We're probably the same height. I'm Italian. He's Hispanic. We don't get tall. We don't grow tall. It is what it is. The problem I have is, now I don't know the rank. Is this a corporal? He's got 2 chevrons. 3 is a sergeant, right? So he's got 2 chevrons. I believe it's a corporal, which means you had to test to get to that rank and then probably interview with your village and what. What do you mean you have no rights right now? What? Due process, freedom of speech. Those are 2 I could think of off the Fifth Amendment for self-incrimination. That's another one. Fourth Amendment, protection from illegal search and seizures. You have several. See, all of them rights, all of them. See, the only time that any rights to my knowledge are taken away is when you're an active convicted criminal. Now, I do argue that once somebody has gone through, like you can't vote, I believe, and you can't own a firearm. I do 100% subscribe to the concept that after somebody has paid their debt to society and they are no longer on probation or parole, they should have full reinstatement of all their rights. Isn't that what the correction process is supposed to be? That's literally, you send somebody to corrections to correct their behavior. So somebody murders somebody with a gun, they're in jail for 30 years. They come out of 30 years, they're on probation or parole for 5 or 10. At the end of that 10 years, 100% full rights to own firearms and to vote and anything else. So you have no rights when you're a convicted felon, or even, I believe, when you sign up for the military, there's certain rights that you get rid of. But let's continue to listen to what this Elmo has to say.
Bring me in a cashier. Which one was it? Can you call it over here?
Yeah, call it. This stupid. This guy. Can I get your name and badge number, please?
My badge, my name.
What can you say it? Can you state it for the record? Say it for the record.
My name, my badge.
Right. Can you say
How hard is it to say your name and fucking badge number? Izzo 501. Deal with it.
State it for the record, though.
You can see I'm here, sir.
Can you state it for the record, please?
You can see I'm here.
All right, we're asking you to state it for the record.
Yes, Officer Robles.
What's your badge number, please?
Right there, sir. The
So you
number's
don't want
right
to honor
there.
your oath that you took to the United
My
States
number's right there, sir. You have an idea on me?
And those people are getting petty, but guess what? They have every damn right to. Every damn right to get petty. So I don't know what the issue is on that one. And this guy, you have no rights. How are you openly admitting this in today's day and age? All right, let's see one more here. Do I have one more of what I critiqued that I want to look at a little bit longer that we did? No, I don't want to do that one. I already did that with law enforcement, women and cops, and okay. This one I haven't covered yet, and I don't understand this. What was it? Tennessee versus Garner was the shooting of a fleeing felon. If you believe that they're about to commit another felony in the process, and there's like 15 in Illinois, there were 15 forcible felonies that you could shoot somebody. Tennessee versus Garner was the standard for use of force, and then it became Graham v. Connor. My hard time wrapping my head around this is that if you can't shoot somebody who's running away from you unless you can articulate they have a gun in their hand, there's a family of 5 having a picnic, and they're running towards a family of 5 with a picnic, pointing the gun at them, why are so many cops allowed to use pit maneuvers on vehicles that are simply breaking traffic laws of excessive speed? Now, I'm part of Mobile Spike, mobilespike.com. It is the ultimate technology. I'll actually show you that video in a second that would eliminate all of these pit maneuvers, but I don't understand this. This is pit maneuver on a fucking motorcycle.
Hey, get on the ground right there. Get on the ground. Get on the ground. We crashed out. Raines and Sullivan, one at gunpoint. Get on your fucking face.
Gunpoint for speeding? For speeding, dude. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know the totality of the circumstances. This guy just killed his family and he's speeding off. But I've seen way too many videos of cops just doing pit maneuvers on cars or motorcycles and then getting their raging hard-ons over somebody who's speeding. I don't know.
Ow! Can I take this off?
10-16. Take your bag off.
Oh, sorry, bro.
Take your bag off.
I'm working on it.
Put your hands on your bag.
He just knocked him off of his. I can't breathe. Yeah, that was that one. Since I'm pivoting into that, and I do not like the pit maneuver, and I'm part of something. I'm going to show this really quickly to all the viewers at home that I think is a game changer in the world of vehicle pursuits. And you no longer need, I already had that. What is wrong with you? You no longer need to do the pit maneuver if you if you just get a mobile spike. And so I'm going to play this for everyone's enjoyment. And yeah, let me bring this up here. I'm going to get myself off the screen so you guys don't have to see my face in here. All right, enjoy. This is how you solve pit maneuvers.
Why?
You're serious.
Yeah, but I'm not even looking backwards. We're good.
Pull a Rockford.
If this was my car, I would.
Absolutely blown out of the water from the outside point of view and perspective of this, how there's no gap. It's seamless between where the tires meets the strip, and that's it.
Our patented spike strip is very unique. It's the only spike strip that works at speed. When the tire rolls over the spike strip, the blades guide the quills through the steel-belted radials. The quills then pull away from the blades, exposing the channel which allows the air to escape any tire in under 60 seconds.
I can be driving, pull up alongside the suspect vehicle, press a button, it shoots out, the vehicle runs over it, and we stop the pursuit within a few minutes.
Match your speed, check your distance. Check your distance. Nice, come on. You can get him again before the bend. If you're good. Are you any good? Green light yet? Yep, got a green light. Match your speed, check your distance. Nice.
Deploying it and knowing that I deployed it correctly, I had to question myself that I actually even hit the vehicle because I didn't feel anything. Then I saw the tire going flat. And then I realized, okay, I did get it.
Have you done this a number of times already?
I did it yesterday.
Great concept, huh?
Yeah, it's brilliant. It really is.
Oh, gotcha.
There's not a single police car that should go out in service without something like this.
Agreed. Because these maniacs that pull them on high-speed chases, they're endangering all the innocent lives.
Yeah.
And this is how to save innocent lives.
Yep, that's an absolute fact.
And then the goofball media will blame the cops instead of the bad guy.
Yeah.
What the?
That's the messed up part about it.
Boy, that is really effective, isn't it? Isn't it? And really easy and increases safety for the cops and the citizens.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, every day there's a bad guy that thinks he can get away from the cops, endangering innocent lives everywhere they go. I believe in good guys over bad guys. Love when we deflate the bad guys.
That's right. I don't have a police car and I don't have a badge, but I would really like.
We'll work on that too.
We can do something about that, maybe.
That's good. Well, congratulations, man.
Hey, thanks.
Great product. Great concept.
Yeah.
All win-win-win for the good guys. Horsepower and spikes. That's better.
Their lives, their safety is just as important as everyone else's. And when you think about the process of a guy trying to get out in front of where someone is going to be, throw tack strips out there. I mean, eventually I guess you get lucky, but that's really all it is you get lucky enough that you're out in front of him.
And this tool, this mobile spike strip, literally is one of the finest tools I've ever seen. Been a sworn sheriff deputy for over 34 years, and I've spent a lot of time in squad cars. I've never been in a high-speed chase, but this will save not only law enforcement heroes' lives, but it will save we the people's lives as they put themselves in jeopardy, getting close to fleeing bad guys and ending it now.
Yeah, that was myself, Ted Nugent, Uncle Ted, and Joe Woods from Dominator Street Outlaws, and we tested and are part of. Well, I am part of Mobile Spike. That's how you end police pursuits, right there. Not this pit maneuver stuff. All right, let me look. Jamal Chambers over in the chat says, "Hey Dom, I was watching some late '90s episode of Cops the other day. Man, they got away with murder back then." Jamal also says, "Izzo for president, not a chance in hell, dude." Chief says, "West a win, Georgia State Police Trooper." I get it. I don't agree with the arbitrarily pit maneuver shit. I just don't. I think it's a bunch of horse shit. Granted, I don't know. That is how I know you're going to wind up saving property. And the conundrum is that when you lead people on a high-speed pursuit, they're running from you, and if they go kill a family of 5, whose fault is it? Is it the cop who's chasing them? Because that's what the media is going to say. Or is it the public or the bad guy who's running from the cop? It sucks. Now, like I said, Mobile Spike is how we wind up solving that issue. And I had another video on this. I don't even know where it's at this point, but it was it was pit maneuver. What? No, I'll have to find it for another day on that one. Let's see. Richard G. Ted, hell yeah. I can't help but think about Grease Lightning songs as Texas Skin 77. Here's what it is. No free speech in the Army. Thank you. I knew that there were some rights that the public did not have. All right. I mean, that's Tuesday, right? We're going to pick this up again on Thursday. Again, I want to just make this every week, joining you guys, reading your chats. I'm going to be reading the what do you call it? The comments section after to see what you guys have to say. So if you didn't see it live, I'm very curious to hear what you have to say. Short form content we put up on YouTube, Spreely TV. Thanks to Spreely TV for producing these fantastic live episodes and distributing them. Guys, go to Spreely.com. That's SPREELY.com and check out the social media platform. Check out the, what else you call it? The shows, The Dumb Show, The Burn Pit Podcast, Report No Pine, Shannon Joy, Evening Rants, and you could join me live every Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern on Spreely.com, your Roku Fire Stick, and Apple TV. And you could listen to us talk about everything from politics to porn. That being said, go ahead and buy my book, Before the Badge, Everything You Need to Know Before You Become a Cop. It's available at Amazon, Words Matter Publishing, and Barnes & Noble. And don't forget, the point of this channel is to kind of get cops to think a little bit better of, man, I love my career, but yeah, I need to demand more of myself. And it's a shit position. When you do, when you are that one person who stands up and you demand more of yourself as a cop, you are fucking hated. You're hated by the lazy cops out there. You're hated by the cops that that they don't want to see you succeed at all. It's like, oh, look at so-and-so learning the Constitution, or look at so-and-so polishing his uniform. Look at so-and-so, doing what cops are the worst people in the world to each other when it comes down to it. So for the one of you out there that my words are going to resonate with, and you're like, man, I have an insane honor to serve the public. Holy shit, maybe I should study the Constitution several times a week. Maybe I should memorize some of these traffic laws so I can go, yeah, it's 720 ILCS or 625 ILCS 6-101B3, it's whatever it is, right? And you know it. So then, and maybe some of you work on your sales skills and you learn professionalism and you learn that not everything's personal. People fucking hate you. It is what it is. And you learn that you made the choice to do this job and get up and do it every day. And you could do it for 5 years. You could do it for 20, 30. You could do it for 5 months, but you choose to do it. You're not owed respect. You're not owed any empathy. You're not owed anything. And so, to be honest, I think that humanizing the badge is the worst thing for law enforcement, because it puts you in a mindset that you should be coddled over something that you made the active choice to do. And that put you at a position where we demand that you are stronger, more righteous, better, and at a highest standard possible versus any other human being out there. And that's why you are an elite group of men and women. So I don't hate cops at all. I love them. I just demand so much more, because why? Why are we teaching to the weakest link? Why are we not expecting the best? Why are we not looking at these amazing men and women? And I think it should be men and saying, hey, listen, yeah, we demand the best of you. End of story. Do it. And that's that. Guys, be safe out there. And see you on Thursday, 9 o'clock Eastern. Send anything you want to OfficerDominic@gmail.com.